Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. Coming up, Roy Lupton's got a fabulous new way of practicing his driven game skills that anybody can try at home. I'm out beating the antis, and of course I'm not enjoying it in the slightest.
I don't regret anything I said. Because his behaviour is primitive, backwards, and it belongs in the Neolithic period.
First, hero of the Gamekeeper Diary DVD series, Geoff Garrod's got a bonanza day with the pigeons. With a busy season over, gamekeeper and vice-chairman of the NGO, Geoff Garrod, can start thinking about the 1001 other things he has to do on the estate he's been part of for nearly 30 years. Today it's a rare chance for him to get on top of the pigeons, with a little extra help from his 13-year-old son Justin, who hardly slept a wink last night with excitement. It's his first ever real pigeon shooting outing.
Well done, well done.
I was up all night, I just couldn't sleep. I was that excited.
What's so exciting for you? Why do you like it so much?
Well, I like when you're shooting, and then when you're using the dog and picking them up and everything. It's really fun. I just really enjoy it.
Geoff has been keeping a watchful eye on the birds and has selected what he believes to be the place to intercept them.
The main line that the pigeons are going to be following is they're going to be coming over the motorway from the woods at the back there. Also, we've got woods at the back here where pigeons will be flighting from there as well. So all in all, I mean, I'm hoping that we should be on a good day. What we're going to do up here, although we've got the maize one side of the hedge, where the wind is, we're actually going to be decoying on this field here, which was early spring drilling. And looking at the flight of pigeons up there now, you can see that, you know, it looks like we should be all right. Use this end as the entrance.
Like many fathers across the country, Geoff relishes the chance of taking out sons and daughters, teaching them the skills and techniques that will mean success and safety in the field for the rest of their days.
Yeah, every time, any opportunity that he can come out with me, he's clamouring at the bit, jumping at the bit to do it. So it's real good. So you, right from an early start, always wear your ear defenders. It's crucial, mate, absolutely crucial.
The number of birds on the move on today's brisk breeze is encouraging. Geoff talks us through his hide and decoy setup.
I always believe in building hides that it is really important that you have a good background, because if the sun was to come out with no background in your hide, you'll be silhouetted quite sharply, and it's amazing how much the pigeons will see that. You know, you think you're well covered behind the net, but they'll see the movement because you've got nothing behind you. So I always feel it's very important to have a good background of in the hide.
Justin wants his dad to explain a few things too.
Where are we going to put the decoys?
Well, the wind direction today...
What pattern are we going to set up with the pigeons?
Well, I reckon today...
Why don't we use them mechanical whirly
things, the thingamajigs? Well, to be honest with you, mate, some call it being tight, but I call it using fieldcraft. If you've got your fieldcraft right, you know, you've eyed up the pigeons, you've watched them, you've seen the flight line, you've got your hide in the right place, and you've got a good hide. To be honest with you, sometimes you don't need them. I mean, there are occasions in the year where perhaps they might be a benefit, but I'm a traditional person. And this is most of my decoying equipment. It's just these canes.
Time to see if it's all going to come together. Geoff gets off to a good start, just the way he likes it.
Always like to kill the first one of the day.
Although the hide is a decent size, the guns take it in turns.
Because he's very young, very inexperienced in the hide, I want to be watching what he's doing, and I can't do that if I'm getting up trying to shoot as well as when he is, you know. And also that's when you could get crossing barrels and that. So while he's still young and inexperienced in the hide, he shoots, I shoots, he can watch me, I can watch him, and hopefully we'll learn a bit off each other.
Garrod's senior and junior are making some great shots, but Geoff keeps a keen eye on his son's shot placement and how he is reading these super fast birds.
Go on, shoot. Well done, good shot. Right, when you're
Justin
ready,
is doing
go on,
well
when
and
you're
his
ready.
efforts on the playground are paying off.
Good shot.
With plenty
Good
of
shot,
birds
well
on the
done.
deck, Geoff and Justin do a clean-up. Again, Geoff can teach his son about the pattern as it builds.
What I'll do is I'll put some on here, because hopefully that might attract any passing ones. They'll see them ones,
Yeah.
and then they'll swing over the hedge to go in with them.
Yeah.
And hopefully see these main ones. Loads of movement there with a windy day like we've got. Right, come on, mate.
After a good start, there's a bit of frustration. Birds that clearly have Geoff's name on them go back the way they came in the same good health in which they arrived.
I think the general term is...
Deb,
What, mate? What?
so you switched, didn't
I know, I did, yeah, I did. Getting lessons off my 13-year-old son here. That's when you know you're past it.
Maybe he should let rip with all the cartridges in his gun. He has got 4 after all.
The gun that I'm using is a Beretta 303 model. It's a fairly oldish model, but a very reliable one. I've had this particular one now for about 5 years, but the difference with this one is a 4-shot, because the gunsmith rang me up and told me about it, but I've got it on my firearms certificate. But it is there for the destruction of ground game, vermin. You know, that's what I use. I find them very reliable guns, actually.
You tend to use 4 shots?
Sometimes. Sometimes I'll get 4. Quite a few times I don't get 4. Don't get 3 either. On the right days, they can be very, very handy. If the pigeons are coming in really well, you can make a bag up very quickly with them. But on other days, what you tend to do is use a lot of cartridges for not a lot of return.
Under Justin's feet is a neat collection of cartridges. One pile is for the birds he's shot, the other is for birds he's missed. Geoff has encouraged him to do this so he knows his shot ratio and how many birds he's accounting for. And today the father and son team are doing just fine.
Well, we've just got a bit of a rainstorm coming through now. Luckily we've got a decent back here with a little bit of canopy over the top to shelter us a bit, but just having a bit of a count up here. We've got a few decoys out on the maize there, which is bringing a few in from that way. But just had a bit of a count. I reckon we're approaching 50 now. It's actually been a little bit harder than what I thought it was going to be. Pigeons have been quite scatty with the wind. Justin shot a few, I've shot a few, I've missed a few. But like I say, we're getting to 50, so I'm quite happy with it. We've had a good bit of fun as well.
Geoff encourages his son to keep a diary of all his shooting days. At the end of play today, Justin needs to note down that they shoot 78 birds. He has 66 shots for 31 confirmed kills, with Dad the rest. Talking of diaries, this leads us neatly on to the Gamekeepers Diaries, which are a series of DVDs featuring Geoff covering all aspects of field sports. For more information, please visit www.gamekeepersdiary.com. Now, from flocking pigeons to David on the Field Sports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Britain News. We start with what we believe to be Britain's biggest ever muntjac. The larder weight is 33 pounds, making the animal around 43 pounds in life and almost as big as the roe deer next to it. Mark Broadhurst of Hampshire shot the enormous buck at 140 yards with a blaze of success. It was the end of a stalking evening that started badly when he found someone had stolen his portable high seat. It's been a week for big fish as well. A lucky angler has broken the record for landing the biggest cod caught in the English Channel. On his first ever fishing trip, Chris Proctor, who's 31, thought at first his hook was caught on the shipwreck his boat was floating above. Such was the colossal size of the catch. Carl Zeiss has won the Golden Kyler Award for its new range of Duralit rifle scopes. The German sports optics company outpaced well-known competitors in the new rifle scope category at the Jagd und Hunt shooting show in Germany with its illuminated Duralit 3-12x50. Here's Armin Dobat of Zeiss collecting the prize. Fishing rivers are set to suffer from this year's drought, especially in the southeast. The Environment Agency says fish are already suffering in the worst drought affecting England in more than 100 years. Now water companies have obtained permission to top up reservoirs from local rivers. And finally, this week marks the 7th anniversary of the ban on hunting with hounds coming into force in England and Wales. The ban has actually helped increase the number of people who go hunting, and to celebrate, the Countryside Alliance has launched a Hunting Under the Act photo competition. For more details, visit www.countrysidealliance.org.uk. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Britain news. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David. I like what you've done with your hair. Now, Roy Lupton has pinched an idea from one of our other contributors, Tim Pilbeam, and he's found an excellent way to practice driven wild boar in his back garden. We often refer to big boys and their toys. Well, for this particular item, we are actually in a big boys toy shop, a model shop, and we are hoping they have the technology to build a bouncy boar.
A bit of a strange request. We're looking to shoot a target, and I need to make a moving target because I've got a new gun that I'm trying out. It's a double rifle, and what I need to do is try and simulate a pig running past. So I need something that's going to be able to go across rough terrain quite fast and carry a bit of weight because I've got to put a target on top of it.
Okay, you thinking maybe fuel driven or probably electric?
Chris, behind the counter, barely flinches when Roy and Ian tell him they want to shoot at a Tonka toy on steroids.
Well, I'd probably recommend something like this. It's 1/10 scale, it's 4-wheel drive, nice and bouncy off-road.
Right.
I'll take the body show so you can see underneath. 4-wheel drive with individual suspension all round, so it will handle with the bumps, and that'll do around about 30 to 25 miles an hour standard.
Superb.
So we know this monster truck is fast, powerful and can take on rough terrain, but can it carry a pig?
What about weight-wise? Will it carry a bit of weight, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it will pull, sort of, give you a rough idea, probably around about 6 bags of sugar behind it.
Oh, really?
If it was on top, then you probably get a bit more out of that than that.
6 bags of sugar? Hardly Hogzilla. But then we've yet to see the A-team class engineering skills of this double act.
That's too big a bum, really, isn't it?
Da, 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 da.
Okay,
So
go
what on earth is this remote-controlled car business all about?
Well, rifle's finally here. We've got nice new shiny scope arrived from Zeiss, and we've got the ammunition. So all the components we need to go and have a little bit of fun with some driven piggies. Before I do that though, obviously the same as any form of shooting, you want to make sure that you're proficient and you want to make sure that you're accurate. Rather than wasting a lot of money and making a lot of noise with this, we thought the easiest way of doing it was to get an air rifle and just practice with the air rifle, because although the trajectory and the velocity are going to be completely different from using the rifle, it's still the same base set of skills that you're going to be using. So hopefully we'll have a bit of fun and see if we can hit anything.
Practicing driven boar like this with an air rifle is a lot safer than the other idea we heard of, shooting at a barrel towed behind a tractor. Please do not do this. Before we get a chance to mount any type of target, the boys want to give the granite muncher a spin just to get a feel of the handling and judge whether it'll do the business. It certainly ploughs through plenty of horse business as it skids across the paddock. Within no time it has the whiff of a pair of soiled jodhpurs. Right, into the pits to pimp this ride. It's going to be a steep learning curve. There are plenty of suggestions, and thankfully we aren't looking for pig perfection.
Then we could have like piggy head.
Just falling apart.
Right. See if it works.
The prototype is not a thing of beauty, but can it defy the laws of physics which are currently pointing and laughing at this heavy monstrosity? Nature abhors a vacuum. It also abhors this tragic attempt at a simulated bore. Never mind, it needs to lose the bulk and stiffen up for high-speed shooting.
Quite work, does it? Yeah, I think we'll might be a little bit heavy for the car. Although it's we were trying to make life-size piggy, I think we might have to go to stage 2. So we'll see what we can come up with this time.
This looks more promising, but Ian's daughters might not appreciate their father's lateral thinking. Boar Mark III takes shape. and it could be a eureka moment. There's certainly plenty of confidence and backslapping in the pits. Even with the comedy udders, it looks as if we're ready for action.
That drives like it would normally drive, pretty much. A lot better than them cardboard boxes.
Is that your motivation in your hand?
That is my motivation in my hands. We've got pictures of Piggy, so yeah. Once we've shot the fake teats, then we can put Piggy on there and away we go. So yeah, we got the gloves. We couldn't find any balloons or anything else to use, so we've got the balloons to start off with, improvisation, and then we're going to put pictures of Piggies on there once we get the accuracy down to a T. So we'll see how we get on.
As Roy's air rifle is on the blink rather than on the plink, he's called in Jim to bring a spare. We must apologise as there now follows a blatant plea to any air rifle manufacturer by Mr. Roy Lupton.
If any air rifle manufacturers are out there and they'd like to provide me with a nice new shiny rifle, it would be rather lovely because my one's broken. So hence I've had to phone a mate and ask him to bring this one down so we can have a play with it. So what we got then?
It's a Brocock Concept Super 6. It's a 6-shot pre-charged 2.2 rifle.
Excellent.
It should do the job for your piggies.
Little carbine. That's nice, isn't it?
Blagger. On with the programme and we release the uddered boar.
He was nowhere near that, Roy.
Sorry?
He was about 6 foot behind that.
Was it?
Yeah.
Never.
It was.
How could you say I was 6 foot behind? It didn't even have a pellet. No, you didn't see a pellet. You just saw a bit of mud. There's no way I was 6 foot behind.
I saw a pellet
No, not having it. Yes! Yeah. Thank you! See, it helps when you've got a pellet in it.
Yeah, but you're still getting the back one.
Sorry?
Okay.
That's amazing how much... Hang on, I wait for it to come round. I didn't miss it was a little boar anyway. Like you. You're not playing fair.
Really?
Hold on.
Go.
I'm not ready yet. Hang on. Give us a chance. Yes! Thank you. Now we've got it. I was giving that about 3 foot, well no, 2 or 3 foot lead on that. So, but it always helps when you're trying out and just learning how to do something. If your mates actually drive it at a constant speed rather than arsing about and run it all over the place. So Ian was taking great pleasure there and accelerating just as he knew I was about to take the shot. So, well, I suppose it's only fair. I mean, pigs won't run at a constant speed.
Everyone quickly realises this has the potential of becoming an Olympic event. Unfortunately, Ian just can't quite get in the groove.
Oh, look! Oh, he missed. I want to show with the big balloon. Right, come on then. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, he missed again.
That, didn't I?
It's still up.
I'll give that,
I was
I'll give that varying leads as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's just useless.
What was you doing to it?
Sorry?
Blowing it. Did you even load that magazine?
Yes, it's loaded.
All who have a go nail the boar, and yet Ian struggles. Of course, everyone is sympathetic. We soon get bored with blowing up the gloves and move on to shots of swine. This is equally popular, and who needs a spotting scope to see where your shot ends up? In this discipline, you must drive the target to within arm's reach. So, what about the double rifle? Well, sorry to say, we were having such good fun with the air rifle and our new high-speed boar, we ran out of time. But time well spent, as Roy is doing all he can to ensure he doesn't make a pig's ear of things. For more on air rifles, tune into Team Wild TV because they have a new film this week about shooting feral pigeons. Just click on the angry buck. From wild boar to a real boar, the antes. Let's go over to me. As I set up the recording equipment, here is the background to the story. Mark Gilchrist shot a white fox. Leucistic, not albino, so an unusual animal, but not a rare one. It is a fox, after all, not a separate species. The comments start coming in within minutes of our film going onto YouTube, and they are complimentary. Sharpshooter HVM says, "Get it mounted by a pro taxidermist, not an amateur. That's a trophy of a lifetime." But then the antis get hold of the film, and these are not just any antis, these are the head-banging saboteur variety. First Patty B suggests to Mark that someone might put a bullet through your skull. Cat and Alfie says that Mark deserves nothing more than pain and misery for the rest of his worthless days. Meanwhile, KM Burst says the crosshairs are put on this bloke's forehead. After a few goes, I get through to one of these offending aunties. Oh, hello. My name's Charlie Jacoby. I'm calling from people you probably don't like very much. We're called Fieldsports Channel, and we do hunting, shooting, fishing, television online. And we've got a YouTube channel, and I'm just following up something from November. There was quite a lot of anger about one of our lot called Mark Gilchrist, who's shooting
the guy that killed two white foxes, which are apparently very rare.
That's
news article said.
That's right. That's the one. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, well, I was quite a little bit peed off at the time.
Now I'm following up. I suppose it's the cyber-bullying is a strong way to put it, but there were a lot of quite angry comments made and a lot of kind of personal threats against Mark, and one of them came from you. What do you think about that?
Well, it's nothing compared to murdering animals, is it? Compared to that, it's nothing at all.
I see. You see, we think it is. We think that that threatening people is bad, and shooting foxes is perfectly normal.
There were no threats going on at all.
I think you put his mobile phone number.
I merely pointed out that his behaviour was quite primitive and backwards, and not fitting in with the modern world.
I see. Okay, and
I made no threats whatsoever.
You did recommend that people ring him up and tell them what they think of him after you put his mobile.
People should tell him what they think, because this behaviour is unacceptable. But no point did I make threats.
You did say that people should make a lot of bookings at his restaurant and then not turn up. That was one of the things you said. Is that? I mean, is that acceptable or not quite?
Well, I can't remember that comment, but if I did, so what?
Yeah. Okay. So, do you think we're going to have to agree to disagree on this one?
Well, I think so, but I don't change any of my opinions or views, or I don't regret anything I said. Because his behaviour is primitive, backwards, and it belongs in the Neolithic period.
But your behaviour is not what we call cyber-bullying.
People have a right to express their opinion. Right.
All right. Well, I think we can leave it at that. We're following this up on this week's programme, and so we're ringing around a couple of people who had these views and recording their responses to this charge that this might be cyberbullying. But I mean, I think you've put your side of it very clearly. So I think we can leave it at that. But I think that's clearly doesn't love us very much. Cyberbullying is unacceptable, and leaving death threats on YouTube is plain stupid. Here is Sherry Adami from the bullying watchdog beatbullying.org.
To harass and abuse someone and make death threats online or indeed offline is unacceptable. Whilst we might not, agree with fox hunting or, to use a digital platform to harass someone else is in our view, it's absolutely not an appropriate thing to do.
Well, that's aunties for you. Please don't have nightmares. We're back next week. If you're watching this on YouTube, please don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button, even if you're not entirely in line with pro hunting thinking, or go to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv, scroll down to the bottom, put your email address into our constant contact box, and we can tell you what we nasty hunters are going to be up to next. Or click to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, same thing. This has been Fieldsports Britain.